Hey everyone, thanks for tapping into Constant Cadence with Matt. Today I'm going to do a review from a brand that I've been noticing a lot more of lately, and I'm sure you have also. Citizen is the brand. I think they've been coming out with some great stuff with the Senjin and the Tsuyosa, particularly the small second Tsuyosa. I don't own either of those, but there are a lot of watches in Citizen's lineup that I'm intrigued by, and I think they keep coming up with new, high quality, interesting things. And this watch is no exception. Today, I'm going to take a look at the Citizen Promaster Land. It has some really cool things to note, and I think it's worth looking into and possibly purchasing, which I did, and I'll tell you why in the review. So let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy the review. So let's just take a look at the watch as a whole. This is my favorite part. You can see it's on the black FKM rubber strap, which is really appropriate for this watch. It's kind of an adventure slash field watch. Substantial buckle. It's a big watch, so it's almost 44 millimeters. Call it 44 millimeters. Um, you've got some interesting buttons on there. They all are knurled, so it's tempting to think that they might spin and do something that involves spinning, but only one of them does that, which I'll show you later. But I think it's a really cool looking dial, and overall just a very visually appealing watch. So let's take a little look at the dial a little bit closer. Um, oh, that's annoying me so much that north is off the 12 mark. But anyway, we'll get back to that in just a minute. But you can see this is a really legible dial. There's a lot of lume on here too, which I'll get to in just a little bit. But you've got the time obviously on the dial. You have your cardinal 369, and then the kind of flyer style triangle at 12 o'clock. You'll see it's branded. You have Citizen and Eco Drive. So this watch will basically run forever as long as you're in daylight or some sort of light source. Could be indoors, fluorescent, incandescent, doesn't matter. This thing will stay charged. It will keep its battery full for a very long time. And that's one of the things that's also very clearly indicated on the dial is the at around 8 o'clock, you'll see that there's a power meter displayed. At about 4 o'clock, you've got a a pointer that indicates the function that you're currently um, in within the digital display. And the digital display is also a very interesting feature of this watch. It's super legible, super crisp, and and I'll show you in a second. It has some really cool ways of letting what's active and where you're at. So we'll get into that as well. So that's just the basics of the dial. I mentioned buttons. The three items on the right look like crowns. They're knurled. It looks like they maybe either to screw them down or to somehow turn them. That's not the case. Those are just buttons. So the central button with the splash of yellow there, which is kind of cool. It kind of matches up with the low power indicator at 8 o'clock. There's a little bit of yellow there. So I think it looks great, but that is essentially a selection button. So when you're at the function that you want, you push that and it selects that function. The buttons above and below it allow you to cycle through menu options. The only item that looks like a crown and actually is a crown is at 8 o'clock, where you have the crown that will turn the the inner bezel, which is a compass labeled bezel, to allow you, if you know how, to use the watch has a compass. Let's just do a quick wrist roll and put the watch on. Again, I love the stylistic components of this watch at this price point. Really great. The FKM bracelet is a little stiff though. It's hard to put on. It's bulky. I think this would look great on a blasted bracelet, and maybe a titanium bracelet would work with this finish and be much lighter and generally easier to wear. But it's a great watch. I'm a big fan, and I really like what Citizen's been doing. This particular watch you can get at more than 200 off MSRP from Citizen. But if you do like I do and go to Joma, you can get it for even less. And check out the loom on this guy. Green for the non-time related items and blue for the time. It's really great. And there you have it, the Citizen Promaster Land. I think it's a really interesting watch by a brand that just keeps getting better and better, in my opinion. What really attracted me to this particular watch, just at least from what I'd seen of it, was that it kind of looks like a flyer. It's got all the chrono capabilities and all the sort of digital capabilities you could want, but it has the cool legibility of a flyer, and I like the saber hands, and some of the knurling just really drew my attention to the watch, and I think are really cool aspects of this watch. So take a look at it, try it on. I think this thing would be really great on a blasted bracelet, blasted steel bracelet. I love rubber straps, and the rubber strap on this watch is really good. But the blasted steel bracelet, I think, would make this just a killer watch. So there you have it. I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope your dial makes you smile.